Hi guys, and welcome to a breaking news video.
They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war forge them. They will be of iron will and steely muscle. In great armor shall I clad them, and with the mightiest guns will they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness will blight them. They will have tactics, strategies, and machines, such that no foe can best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear.
Hi guys, I'm Top Table Steve, and thank you for joining me. This is a video which I'll be going over the nice surprise announcement this weekend for the pre-orders of the new Space Marine items, which will be up for pre-order this Saturday. So like I say, announced this weekend was the announcement that the Space Marines are getting a, how can we say, renewal. Games Workshop have announced that there's going to be some new releases. We're going to get a new Space Marine Codex, which is awesome. I think we all kind of expected. There's been a lot of talk online that this is going to be imminent, and it just so happens that this weekend, on Warcry release weekend, they announced it at Warhammer World. So with this, my initial thoughts: over the moon. Over the moon. I've not been playing 40k for that long, probably less than 12 months. So there's probably a lot of you guys who are watching me now who are a lot more versed in and around the 40k universe and the goings on in that. Needless to say, 40k has gripped me with two hands, and I am hooked. I am an Ultramarine player at heart. I am building a Space Wolves army in the background, as well as a Raptor army. So this news this weekend is great for me. The fact that we're getting new units is fantastic. I'll go into that in more detail later as why, as a new player, that is good for me. But before that, I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at what was announced, the releases that are coming out soon, and yeah, we'll just talk a little bit more in depth about those. So firstly, I think it makes most sense to talk about the fact that there's a new Codex for Space Marines coming out. Reading on the Warhammer community and listening to different people talking on YouTube videos and in different forums, it seems that this new Codex is mainly going to focus on Primaris. This for me is a good thing. I know there's a lot of you guys out there who love all the old stuff, which is great. But I think that, and I think probably a majority of people think that this is the way the Space Marines are going to go, and the older stuff is going to become sort of OOP. I'd probably guess within the next 5 years. Now don't scream and shout at the screen when I say something like that. Bear with me. I think it's a good thing because as a new player coming into the world of 40k and playing Space Marines in particular, there's a lot of stuff that now looks very dated, and especially now that Primaris have been around for a while. We've got some Primaris units, not a lot, but we've got a handful, and there's a lot more coming out, you know, as time goes on. And like I say, I'm a new player coming in, so Primaris visually really appealed to me. And when you stand them next to the older Space Marines are showing their age, so I think they're due an overhaul. I know a lot of you are worried about sort of, you know, certain units of the older Space Marines because you like their rules set, the type of unit that they are. I personally, and this is just my opinion, there's a lot of you guys, like I've said, who know far more than I do. I think we are going to see all that sort of passed over to the Primaris era, and you're going to get everything that you know and love, but as Primaris. That seems to be the way that it's going. I would love to hear your views on that also. So they said that in this codex that the rules have been totally overhauled, which is exciting. That means we're going to get sort of newer rules, better rules for these miniatures, and the successor chapters are going to be looked at more closely, which again is great. all you guys who are running sort of your Iron Fists and White Scars and such are going to be over the moon. There's also going to be some extra psychic abilities, which is really, really cool. I'm sort of just dipping my toe into the psychic abilities in game now, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to add to it. I think that there are certain psychic abilities that are a bit dated also, and I think just freshening things up is a good thing. In these pre-orders, we're also getting new data cards for the Space Marines. We're also getting data cards for the White Scars, which is great, and obviously White Scars are going to be the first of the successor chapters that we're going to be looking at, and I know there's a lot of people who play White Scars, and they're a really nice aesthetic, and the oriental look with the curved like chainsaw blades or chainsaws is really nice to look at, and along with that you're getting an upgrade kit for White Scars, which is great. We've already seen this in different factions, Space Wolves being one that I've got. I ended up buying about 6 packs of these upgrade kits, and they're great kits to individualise your miniatures and just mess around. I'm really into customising, so these things are great. I will probably pick this kit up, even though I don't play White Scars, just to mess around with things. There's different heads in there, which is great, and that's probably the main reason why I'll do it, just to customise my Ultramarines or my Space Wolves. So also Codex supplements. Now this is again something really exciting, and they're sticking with the Ultramarines and White Scars with this. These are the first 2 that are going to be on pre-order, and it just lets you delve a little bit deeper into those chapters. Fingers crossed in the future, we're going to get more of the ones that we also really, really want to see. Make sure you let me know in the comments below which supplements you'd like to see next, but this is just a nice way to take a faction, if you like, in this game, and it can expand and branch off, and it's still at heart the same faction, but there's so many more aspects to it, which is really, really good that they're exploring that in depth more, because I know a lot of you guys were crying out for that. So to go along with all these new shiny books, we're getting new dice. Now, I personally I'm addicted to dice. I love dice. Anyone who knows me knows that I any new dice that come out I collect. I've had custom dice made for armies that I've built, so I'm really excited by this. There's some dice that in the past have been released. I bought the Space Wolf Kill Team dice, which I wasn't impressed with. I didn't like the quality. I'll be honest, I'll say it up there, really didn't like them. They weren't great dice. They didn't like the way they were printed, didn't like the feel of them, thought they were a bit small. These look awesome. They've got nice square edges, they're really clear print on them, and you get the Ultramarine and the White Scars again, of course. The Ultramarine ones are gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be getting those, and I'll probably get a couple of sets of the White Scars, just like I say, I'm a bit weird with dice, just in case in years to come I decide to make a White Scars force and these dice are no longer available. They are really, really pretty, especially the Ultramarine ones. I cannot wait to get my hands on those. Chief Librarian Tigerius has been given a Primaris makeover. A really, really nice miniature. Like I say, I'm not that clued up on the 40k lore and the background. I'm kind of learning as I go. What does this mean? I mean, we've got Tigerius, we've also got Kersaro Khan, I think that's how you pronounce it. Both gorgeous minis. For me, this kind of tells us that we're going to see miniatures for HQ models and heroes and characters that maybe we've not seen before, that you've had to kit bash together to have the mini for it. And B, Tigerius, it looks like they might be revisiting and revamping and freshening up the miniatures, because again, as a new player coming into 40k and especially Space Marine armies, there's a lot of miniatures that I would like to add, or should I say, how do I put this, there's a lot of profiles that I would like to use in my force, and I read the profile and I think, yeah, that looks really cool, that's going to buff me here, there, blah blah blah, and then I look at the miniature and it's the old Space Marine style. It's not aged very well, it's quite dated, and it puts me off, because I am more of a player who likes the rule of cool, things that look cool, things that are aesthetically pleasing on the table. That's what gets my juices flowing. I know that's just me, that's not everybody. Some of you guys have got real attachments to these older models, which is great, but time moves on, I think, and I think we've all got to just admit sometimes that changes have to be made, and I think this is a change for the better, in my opinion. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll start to see more of the older HQ models and the older heroes being resculpted and redone in nice plastic kits. That'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely, because I am, as much of a collector and a hobbyist as I am a gamer. So the model itself, Tigerius, it's obviously a librarian. Very, very cool pose, very dynamic. I've got a couple of librarian poses, and they're quite static, maybe sticking a hand out or something like that. This is a lot more, looks like he's on the battlefield, like I say, more dynamic. It's got a nicer feel to it, and it's just a lovely, lovely model. And there's room there, definitely for customization and kit bashing, definitely. And then we go on to the Mr. Khan model, which is great. Lovely, lovely model. The bird's not my thing, I'll admit, but again, I'll probably pick it up because it's a nice model, and I will sort of customize it some way to fit into either my Ultramarines or my Space Wolves, or maybe even my Raptors. I think my Raptors are all going to be basic, but who knows? I'm going to pick it up anyway because it's a really, really cool model, and why wouldn't you want to pick it up? They've also announced that they will be releasing the Lieutenant model from the Waking the Dead box set, which is great. I almost pulled the trigger and bought this on eBay for a silly, silly price. So the fact that they're going to just release it and it's going to be on the shelf to buy is great. I've got a bit of a thing again for different poses and wanting just to mix my armies up so that everything doesn't look the same. So I'll definitely be picking one of these up, and that's a great move. I'm a big fan of, yes, releasing exclusive miniatures for box sets and then being exclusive for a set amount of time, let's say 12 months, but then them being available to everybody. Not everybody might want to buy the box set. They might have everything else that's in that box set except for that one exclusive model, and it's kind of a bit of a weird scenario that you're not able to get it. So the fact that they are releasing them, they did the same with the Space Wolves from the Tooth and Claw. That's now in the Start Collecting Primaris Space Wolves set. I think it's great, and it's really good for people like myself who just want to collect them little individual characters and to mix your force up. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing. So we move on to a model which has caused quite a bit of stir. There's positive and negative vibes online for this, and it's the Invictus Tactical Warsuit. I think a lot of people are thinking this is like the new Primaris Dreadnought. It's not been confirmed or denied one way or the other. I don't think it is. I think it's like a sort of an in-between your standard Space Marine unit and your Dreadnought. That's like sort of an in-between. I think it's going to be slightly smaller. Again, this is just my musings. I like it. The open front, I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, thanks for the cover, just having the sort of the barred front in front of the Space Marine inside. But I think this is one of those things where it's called a lightweight suit. It's meant to be something that can get in and out of very, very quick, and it's going to get them across the battlefield. And yeah, I like it. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. I really don't think it's a dreadnought. Dreadnoughts are older warriors, right? That have their bodies have been damaged beyond repair in battle, and what's left of them is placed inside a machine, which is the dreadnought, so they can live on and inspire the warriors around them because of all the great deeds they've done. Obviously, Primaris are quite new, so Primaris, there's not going to be any 1,000-year-old Primaris, right? So this is nice that the Primaris get a unit similar to that, and I'm keen. I will definitely be picking one of these up. Let me know what you guys think about this model, because it has really split the community, it seems. I'm a fan. I have to say I'm a fan. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. So we'll move on to the Impulsor. This is the grab tank, which you've seen pictures of, which is obviously a dedicated transport for Primaris. How many Primaris can it carry? We don't know. We don't know any of the rules for any of these models yet, which again is I'm not gonna pass judgment one way or the other. I have an opinion, but I'm not gonna pass judgment one way or the other until I see the rules. Really nice model. it's a transport for Primaris, so that's win, right? That's what every Primaris player's wanted for a long time. It seems to have on the picture, it seems to have an open back, and I don't know if that's just the way the picture's taken, or if it has indeed got an open back. That's quite cool, although again the Marines in the back are not getting much cover, pretty much like the mini dreadnought type transport, but I like that. I think it'd be cool, especially if you get in the kit possibly some sitting down Marines for the back that you could maybe magnetise and take off and put on, which so you can visually see if the Marines are on board or they've already disembarked. That'd be quite cool. But overall, I really like it. I really like pretty much most of the stuff that GW are releasing at the moment. I think they're heading in the right direction. They know what they're doing, and I have faith in them big time. So then onto the Vanguard Marines, we obviously have a nice shiny new lieutenant, which is very, very dynamic, really, really cool. This is the first miniature that was leaked over on the Space Marine Lieutenant Twitter page, which, by the way, big thumbs up from Top Table to Games Workshop for that. Keep that coming. That is awesome. There's a lot of chuckles on there. It's good. It's a good idea. The interaction with the community in that sense is really, really good. I really like it, and more of that, please. That would be great. But yeah, the lieutenant, it looks like a Reaver lieutenant. Cool pose, really like it. Very different than any other pose that we've seen, and I will 100% be getting this guy. And then we've got some more Eliminator poses, which is great. Different than the poses we got in the Shadow Spear box, which is nice, because those poses themselves were amazing. They sort of blew me away when I seen those. These are a lot nicer, I think, or maybe it's just because they're new and shiny. But yeah, it's going to be nice to mix up the poses, and I can't wait to get my hands on these. I especially like the fella who took the sight off his gun and is using it as like a telescope stroke binocular type thing to gauge where his enemy is. That looks really, really cool. I'm really happy with these. I suspect they will sell a lot of these. And then we have the basic new Vanguard Marines with Phobos armour. We know what these look like. Anyone who was lucky enough, I've been one of them to get the Shadow Spear box before it's no longer available, will know that these are really, really nice looking Space Marines. They kind of remind me, and I'm showing my age here, since seeing them, the Phobos armour Marines in the Shadow Spear box set, they really do remind me of, I used to collect Action Force stroke G.I. Joe figures when I was about 10, 11. And my favourite figure was Snake Eyes from this range of toys, and they just I don't know why, they just remind me of Snake Eyes' outfit, which is awesome. It was my favourite toy as a kid, and now the Space Marines look like that. I'm very tempted, even though I've already painted Ultramarines, Raptors and Space Wolves, to do my own successor chapter of all black armour just with a grey trim, just so they look like Snake Eyes. Yeah, I know, I'm a massive nerd, but I think they look amazing. I will 100% be picking some of these guys up. I've already got 2 of the sets that you get with Shadow Spear, so I will be adding to that. I've not used them in game yet, so I'd be interested also if you guys have used the Vanguard Marines in game with the Phobos armour. Let me know in the comments below what you think of them, how you use them, what's the best approach with them to use. I'd be really, really interested. Like I say, I am a new player and I'm a sponge at the moment. I'm trying to soak up as much information as I can. So any help in that sense would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So yeah, guys, that's the news on the pre-releases which will be available this Saturday. And don't forget, if you are thinking of pre-ordering any of this stuff, if you use the affiliate link for Element Games below, not only do you get a massive discount and you're guaranteed to get your things on the morning of release day, you also help us out, and it helps us create more videos like unboxings and stuff like that. Element Games will see that we've pointed you in their direction, and they kind of help us out with different things. So it's a win-win for everybody, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. As well as that, there's other links below for the Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and we have a Patreon program, which again really, really helps us put these videos out and create the battle reports that we do. I am looking this week to get a couple of 40k battle reports filmed in our quite unique style, which really like if I got some feedback on that. We'll be finishing off the campaign which we started, and getting a bit more deeper into 40k, using more of the rules, bigger battles, bigger tables, and also getting guests involved who are going to come down with their armies and play out on camera. And literally I'll just be a host, I'll just be chatting to the guys, filming them play, and just putting it out there for you guys to enjoy. On that subject, if you guys are local to Stockport, Manchester, or you're able to travel Stockport, Manchester with relatively no problems at all, you have a 1500 point 40k army that you would love to get on camera, throw down with somebody else, sort of duke it out, and have a chat with us about your army, and just nerd out for the day, go and grab some lunch and make a day of it. Please comment below or message us on the Facebook group, because we'd love to have you over. And if we can get two guys to play with some nice looking 1500 point armies, that would be amazing. So yeah, make sure you let us know if you're interested. But other than that, definitely 100% please get involved in the comments below. Let's get some chat going. I really want to try and build a decent little 40k community here at Top Table Gaming. That would be really cool. Things are taking off pretty well at the moment. Sort of Middle Earth and Warcry, they're kind of they've become their own beast, and they're growing and growing and growing. The 40k is still quite small, and I personally would like to grow that. I'm really interested in getting more involved in 40k and hosting events and things like that. And I know a lot of you guys who are on the Conquest magazine group, get involved in the comments, guys. I want to hear from you guys what you think of these new models, and are you going to be picking them up to add to your Conquest forces? But other than that, that is all I'm going to talk about today. When I eventually place my orders and get my new toys, I will review them. I'll get them on camera if you'd like to see them, and talk a little bit more in detail when we know the rules and things like that. Would be really cool. But yeah, if you're a noob, if you're a veteran in 40k, get involved. I would really like to hear your opinions on this. It's something that I'm excited about 100%, and you are definitely going to see these on the channel probably in the next 4 weeks. 100%. I'm going to get them painted and get them on camera. So guys, I've been Top Table Steve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.